Good early morning, everybody. It's Lorraine Alternative Homesteading, and I wanted to give you a little update. I sent a FOIA request to the Kentucky Fusion Center. You know, they call them the Intelligence Fusion Center / Homeland Security here in Kentucky. So I sent them a formal request under the Kentucky Open Public Records Act regarding potential surveillance and interference with my private communications and real estate activities. And obviously, I have bona fide proof that my communications has been interfered with, because when I filed a consumer affairs complaint, instead of in the subject heading of the person that I was complaining about, the business, someone hacked that record and wrote the name of my cat rescue instead. Yes, bona fide proof. I even told the Consumer Affairs Department that this was a complaint that I filed recently, and this is just more evidence that my file's been hacked, that their system has been hacked. So on May 20th, I wrote, "Dear FOIA officer, attaches my formal request under the Kentucky Open Records Act regarding potential surveillance and interference with my private communications and real estate activities. Please confirm receipt of this request. I would appreciate a response within the statutory time frame of 5 business days as required by KRS 61.880. Now, you have to understand, if you submit a FOIA request, you'll have to reference the Open Records Act in your state. So in New Jersey, for instance, it wasn't called the New Jersey Open Records Act. It was called OPRA. It was actually called OPRA that way. So anyway, and I also copied the Attorney General here in Kentucky. And my formal request was as follows. To the Kentucky Intelligence Fusion Center, care of the Kentucky Office of Homeland Security. And I copied the Attorney General. Pursuant to the Kentucky Open Public Records Act, KRS 61.870 to 61.884, I respectfully request access to any and all records, documents, intelligence bulletins, reports, surveillance logs, communications, intercepts, monitoring activities, or other materials that reference or pertain to my name, address, phone number, or real estate property. I have reason to believe that I have been subjected to unauthorized surveillance, interference with telecommunications, and obstruction in my efforts to sell my private property. I also have reason to believe that defamation has been spread to deny services, or when services are performed, they are substandard or deliberately designed to cause damages. Specifically, phone calls made to me are frequently not connected or are redirected. Some calls are diverted to voicemail without ringing. Multiple people have reported being unable to contact me via telephone. Multiple people have reported being unable to contact me via email or do not receive my emails. Multiple postal deliveries have gone missing. Real estate sale efforts have experienced inexplicable delays and sabotage. And then I listed all the neighbors that have threatened workers on my property, co-opted workers on my property, tore down my gate, stole a gate, tampering with evidence, threatening a witness. Multiple people, apparently friends of the above, contacted my real estate agent to not sell my property. 41 public FOIA requests through Muckrock were removed after reporting the county lawyer to former AG Cameron. Denial of services as a result of defamation to a veterinarian, Dr. Rebecca Caleb-Wilson. Annville Vet Clinic, Annville, Kentucky. A flash grenade was detonated by neighbors. Video recorded on my driveway, May 18, 2025 at 1:41 a.m. The incident was reported to the Jackson County Dispatch on May 19, 2025. This is the third such incident in only a couple of years. Please search records for any references to the following: my full name, phone number, and address. I request records from May 23rd, 2019, when I moved here, to present. If any portion of this request is denied, please provide a written explanation citing the statutory basis. I'm willing to pay reasonable fees up to $25. Please notify me in advance if costs exceed this amount. Lorraine Valente. Okay, so I sent that. So I called today. I just wanted to make sure that my email was not intercepted anywhere. So I left them a very detailed voice message that I sent an email. I just wanted to make sure they received it. So late this evening, 8:43 p.m., I received a response from Chris Allen W. Please see the attached response to your Kentucky Open Records Act, and I will show it to you, by the way. Director, Kentucky Intelligence Fusion Center, Kentucky Office of Homeland Security, Frankfort, Kentucky. So let me first show you this. And then I will show you the letter that I received. It's downloaded, so let me open it up for you. And I'll show you the top here. Well, I have to show you without my address here. Let me 1 second. Let me just block off my address. Okay, so I'll read it to you. In case you decide to FOIA, and I know that several of my subscribers actually live in Kentucky. Dear Ms. Valente, on May 20th, 2025, the Kentucky Office of Homeland Security, KOHS, received your email request dated May 20th, 2025. In your letter, you requested the following records from May 23rd, 2019 to present. Any and all records, documents, intelligence bulletins, reports, surveillance logs, communication intercepts, monitoring activities, or other materials that reference or pertain to my name, address, telephone number, or real estate property. This office has no records responsive to your request. If you wish to appeal this decision, you may do so by filing a complaint with the Office of the Attorney General, Open Records, Open Meetings, Capitol, 700 Capitol Avenue, Suite 118, Frankfort, Kentucky, pursuant to KRS 61.880, or by filing an original action in Franklin Circuit Court under KRS 61.882. If you first appeal to the Attorney General but are dissatisfied with the Attorney General's decision, you may further appeal to the Circuit Court pursuant to KRS 61.8805. Josiah Keats, Executive Director, Kentucky Office of Homeland Security. And I'll show you here. Anybody study handwriting analysis out there? This office has no records responsive to your request. Well, I'm sure there is some office that has those documents. You know, when I FOIA requested the FBI, I received that pat response. We cannot confirm or deny that you're on any list in the name of national security. Yeah. Well, at least they didn't say that they can't confirm or deny in the name of national security. They just flat out said the office has no records responsive to your requests. Okay, does anybody out there believe this? Leave a comment down below. Have you FOIA requested the Fusion Center Homeland Security in your state? And if so, leave a comment down below if you received a response. But I am astounded that I received a response back so quickly, and I'm pleased because, you know, my mails are being intercepted. So I hope the governor receives my letter today, because I sent the governor quite a long letter. Let me see if I can pick some of that up for you. Because I first left a very detailed voice message for Governor Andy Beshear, and I guess his secretary. And I wrote a very detailed letter that says, today, May 23rd, 2025, I left a detailed voice message for you regarding several serious issues that must be immediately addressed as follows. I have lived in blank on a farm since 2019. I'm now 66, considered a senior citizen. I contacted Governor Beshear in 2023 and was referred to the Criminal Investigations Division of the Kentucky Attorney General, Daniel Cameron. I sent certified mail return receipt requested follow-up certified letters, emailed evidence at their request, and have received no response. The number of property mobbing incidents has escalated since, with no investigations or charges against the perpetrators of those crimes, even when video evidence has been provided. Since moving here, neighbors and other unknown actors, local officials, Judge Shane Gabbard, County Lawyer Ross Murray, and other unknown to me, have been involved in perpetrating crimes against me under the umbrellas of real estate or property mobbing. Neighbors have deliberately thrown IEDs, grenades, trash, skinned animals, and more on my driveway and stuffed inside my mailbox, which is a federal crime. My gardens have been littered with rock and weeds, trash, vandalism, burning my shrubs, cutting and destroying entire garden beds and greenhouses. Wood plank boards were literally removed from outside of wood buildings. My barbed wire fencing was cut and removed. Heavy slate rocks stacked at the entrance of my driveway were stolen. Thefts last year alone exceeded $7,000 inside my home. Vandalism to the property included vandalism of 3 greenhouses, burning holes in decks, breaking 2 windows, slashing window screens, planting a carpet of weeds down a 350-foot driveway, digging the supporting wall surrounding my stream, mailbox and landscaping, stealing rock and soil, also known as accelerated fake erosion, damaging all of our water catchment barrels to the point they need to be replaced, threatening my workers to not work for me, threatening real estate agents to not sell my property. The list is endless. Since 2019, I've filed multiple complaints with the Jackson County Sheriff's Office, none of which have been investigated, let alone accurately written on the incident report or police blotter. Some are left blank, while others are complete lies to discredit my claim. I record everything and can prove they are lying on reports. On May 20th, 2025, I filed 2 incident complaints with the Jackson County Sheriff's Office dispatch. I provided great detail, names of individuals who have been harassing, stalking, and slandering me since moving here in 2019 as possible suspects in the detonation of a flashbang grenade on my driveway at 1:41 a.m. May 18, 2025. The first incident is JCSO 2025-2154. The second JCSO incident, 2025-2155, was reported on the same date. I reported multiple laws that were violated by perpetrating the crime of detonating a grenade, yet they were not included in the blotter incident. Those crimes are menace, stalking, animal cruelty, endangering wildlife, and potential fire hazard to my property and surrounding vegetation. On May 2nd, someone broke into my nonprofit cat rescue building and harmed the kittens and nursing mother, causing great harm to their eyes, resulting in 2 deaths of healthy kittens. I have before and after photos. The blotter I received was fabricated, packed with lies and failure to report the facts. The JCSO referred the animal cruelty case to Trooper Brandon, Kentucky State Police, who called asking if I lost the cat. The incident report stated ANIM nuisance, which I reported illegal trapping and animal cruelty, illegal break-in. The incident blotter is a pack of fabricated lies. I recorded the call to dispatch to prove the falsification of the incident. The JCSO closed the incident and the grenade with no investigation. The JCSO and county lawyer needs to be investigated for public corruption, falsifying reports, failure to investigate crimes taking place here, their conflict of interest, as the Sheriff Daniel Isaacs has a relationship with many of the perpetrators. I have filed multiple cease and desist letters against my neighbors, copying the sheriff and county lawyer certified mail, and in the police blotters above, they wrote the cease and desist were filed against me. This is a lie. Attached are the two above referenced incident reports, completely fabricated. Here's a video of the grenade thrown on my driveway by a pickup truck. Evidence 1, neighbor explodes flash grenade on my driveway, 1:41 a.m. This property mobbing is a method to force people into moving from their property or sell for a lower price. Please note that I am copying Attorney General Coleman above. And for your information, the new form of blockbusting is real estate mobbing. While traditional blockbusting is illegal, a modern form has emerged in the form of real estate mobbing, a covert psychological war waged against homeowners to force them into selling. And here's how it works. Harassment and intimidation. Neighbors, local officials, or hired perpetrators harass homeowners daily. Tactics include noise disturbances, vandalism, trespassing, spreading rumors to create unbearable living conditions. Number 2, spreading fear and misinformation. Whisper campaigns spread lies about rising crime, declining property values, or undesirable buyers coming into the area. Some perpetrators may actually pose as real estate agents and falsely claim the property is in legal trouble or that it will be seized soon. Sabotage and financial pressure. Vandalizing the property to make it look neglected, scaring off buyers and lowering the value. Filing fake code violations or environmental complaints to increase financial burdens. Delays, red tape, mysterious buyers who never close the deal to wear down the owner. Isolation and emotional manipulation, turning neighbors against the owner, cutting off community support, psychological manipulation, anonymous threats, constant surveillance, or even fake friendships designed to feed false information. Pushing a desperate sale. After months or years of harassment, the owner becomes exhausted and desperate. Suddenly, a lowball offer comes in from a mysterious buyer, often connected to the very people orchestrating the mobbing. Why is it done? Profit. Force a quote-unquote distressed sale. Flip the property for a huge profit. Gentrification. Push out long-term residents to replace them with wealthier newcomers. Corruption and power. It involves local officials and powerful individuals aiming to control the land or development. Please forward this information to Governor Beshear and anyone else that may be able to assist. Thank you in advance. If you require additional information, do not hesitate to contact me. So that is what I was busy doing today. And this very letter will be sent to multiple people, including, and I spoke to other people who said, Lorraine, you've got to get out of the state of Kentucky with your communications and send them to the government. So that will be my next step. Sending them to, maybe Tulsi Gabbard, Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, the president, anybody else up there. And plus, because I'm in a different class, I am considered to be an elder. This is considered elder abuse. So if anybody out there is familiar with the organizations that protect elders, and yes, unfortunately, yes, I'm an elder. This is elder abuse. That is another avenue that I will be pursuing. So leave a comment down below. I know for a fact that many of you other men and women in your testimonies have reported the very things that are happening to me has happened to you. And you're approximately the same age as me. So I think we need to band together and discuss real estate and property mobbing as a tool to harass and torment and steal property from property owners. This goes beyond, quote unquote, the targeting program. Okay? You've got whole packs of little criminals destroying my property, dumping animals on my property, and then denying veterinary care, flipping it around that I'm not caring for them. Well, guess what, fuckers around here? I've got a list of people who know me a long time and how I take care of my cats. In fact, I've even had people deliver packages to me that when I open up the door to the cats building have looked inside and says, wow, your cats are living better than most of the people around here. I kid you not. And it's friggin' true. So stop spreading the lies, because I will take this as far up as possible to expose all of you effers. Okay? And which each agency that denies or claims that they don't have the information or whatever, they are now aware of what's going on here. And the way karma works is this. When people in a position of authority have the ability to help and do not, and are made aware of the situation, they are now complicit. Every time I file a complaint with the appropriate authority that denies what's going on here or does nothing when they have it in their ability to do something, are now complicit, the karma then falls back on them. So at that point, everybody that I contact about what's going on here, if they choose to do nothing, pass the buck or whatever, the karma falls upon them. And at that point, when I go up the ladder and nothing is done about it, all I do is sit back and watch every one of you fucking fall. Every one. It will all come back and something bad will happen to all you guys. And that's just the way it works. And I know. And I know because I am protected. And you all guys know it. So give it up. Because I am never shutting up. You can keep targeting my foot and targeting my ankles and targeting my throat and targeting the corners of my eyes, slashing my face, breaking into my cat's building, destroying them, stealing animals on my property, stuffing dead animals on my property. You think you're protected. You're not. And as I said in a previous video, the cabal, the deep state or whatever, they sit back and laugh at all you stupid go along to get alongs because they're manipulating you. You're the stupid assholes that signed agreements and they sit back and laugh. Because all your guys are little fucking puppets. And they know it. And that's why they will allow me to have video of you on A&E, Neighborhood Wars. Do you think if they didn't want that to happen, that they would allow it to happen, wouldn't allow it to happen? They were sitting back laughing and giggling because they wanted to do it themselves. But they were thrilled. Because I get to do their dirty work for them while they sit back and laugh and giggle. And I know that wherever these letters go, that they, the higher ups, are still laughing and giggling at all you stupid asses that signed agreements to go along to get along. Because the ones of you that they can't stand, even though they're going to use you up, they're going to laugh and giggle when one of you gets caught up in one of these streams. Because I don't know your personal histories. I don't know what you've done in the past. But one of these agencies is going to go looking up your name, and then they go, oh, well, we know about this person. Oh, we've had other complaints about this person. And that's just the way it works. So I'm not concerned. So anyway, please leave a comment down below if you filed any formal complaints with your governor. And thank you again, subscriber, for calling Governor Beshear on my part. I won't use your name. I mean, I know who you are. And I, sent an email back and forth today, but I didn't want to mention your name here, and I appreciate it. I have other people. Josh, thank you so much for writing a letter. He wrote a letter last year to the sheriff and followed up about the stuffed animals, the skinned animals that were stuffed in my mailbox and on my driveway that nothing was done about. You think I'm going to let you get away with that? No, not in this lifetime. Not in this lifetime. At some point, somebody will pick it up. Like the person that's doing a documentary on this. So you keep it up. Keep giving me the evidence, you satanic Luciferian Freemason losers. You're performing your rituals against targeted people. You think I don't know? We're all waking up as to what you're doing. Targeted people are being satanically, ritually abused on your special holidays, your High Witch holidays. Like on May 2nd, when you did this to my kittens. You think I don't know? Because a year to the date, last year, you decided to use your weapon on my arm. And through a long sleeve sweatshirt, a long sleeve compression shirt, you used your technology to cut a triangle in my arm that was a nanosecond away from a major vein in my arm. And as soon as I posted it online, YouTube took it down in a heartbeat because you reported it. But don't worry, it is still online. On somebody else's video. You don't want people to see what your technology does? Oh, and I forgot to mention that my sweatshirt and my long sleeve shirt had 0 hole. There wasn't a burn, there wasn't a hole. The technology, and this is why they can burn you while you're asleep in your own home in your bed. Because the technology can go through your house, through your walls, and not damage the walls or the house. And go right to the point on your body. The way it did to my forearm. Through a sweatshirt and a compression shirt. Did not damage either one of them, but cut a perfect friggin' triangle. 1 inch wide. On my arm. And anybody that wants that photo, email me, alternativehomesteading@gmail.com. I will show you what they did with the technology. Oh, and by the way, I'm a righty. And it was on my right arm. Just for those naysayers out there. So anyway, this is Lorraine Alternative Homesteading. That's my rant for today. And now that I'm awake, I'll probably be recording my next testimony. Signing off for now.